So like a month ago, I quit my old job and I got a new job. And this new job was, on paper it was great. It was 40 hours a week. It was 17 an hour. It had great benefits, great PTO, and I was really excited about it. It was work from home, which was like my goal, my ideal was to work from home. But at the end of the day, month goes by and I drank the Kool-Aid. I was, super excited, and as soon as we got out of our first like training chunk, I started to dread going to work every day. I didn't want to get out of bed. I don't really know what made my depression like spike really bad with this job. I don't know if it was just the 40 hours a week, because I was doing like 25 before I started this job. So I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was, the environment. It was a call center environment, but it was supposedly like not a normal call center, whatever. And the problem I have really being on the phone, I can talk on the phone. Like, I don't have an issue with that. I had an issue with how they grade your calls and how they micromanage you. And so at the end of the day, I was like, I can't fucking do this. I don't care if the money is good. Like, not happening. So I went back to my other job, or I'm going back to my other job. They're letting me come back, thank God. But I really just want to touch on the subject of, and everyone's situation is different. I might just, be more privileged to be able to live this way, but I fully believe full-time work is torture. And everybody tried to pressure me into getting a full-time job because, my 25 hours a week wasn't like, I could afford everything I needed to afford. Don't get me wrong. I could afford everything I needed to. Could I buy anything extra for myself? No. Did I complain about it? Sure. But when I was telling my dad, I had this conversation with my dad way before I left my old job. I was like, I don't think I can work 40 hours a week. I don't think if I work 40 hours a week, I will not have time for the things that actually make me happy. And he's like, well, that's being an adult. And I said, well, that's kind of fucked up. And so I got my new job and I was working 40 hours a week. It was work from home, which didn't, it didn't suck. It was not ideal. And so I, started thinking about it. I was telling my dad, I was like, I haven't even been on like my personal computer. I haven't played video games in like a month because I can't stand being in front of the computer on my free time when I do it for work all day. And he's like, welcome to adulthood. And it's like, I don't want adulthood if that's what this is, because, and again, this is probably just me coming from a place of privilege, but I can't do 40 hours a week. My mental health will not allow me to. I've been so fucking depressed this past month, because of the job. Not only that, but I was kind of misled about, how much they care about you, which again is probably just all call centers at this point, but they were like, yeah, like, take care of yourself. And it's so fucking hard for me to take care of myself if I'm stuck at a computer 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I can't nap anymore. I can't sleep in, so I'm losing sleep, and sleep was like something that keeps me mostly stable. I don't know. It's not for me. And I would much rather work 2 part-time jobs than a full-time job, because at least I get a change of scenery. Ideally, I would like to have a job as like a freelance writer, or like, an author. And I have written and published a book, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. To be fair, it is just a poetry book, but that doesn't make money. I have sold 3 copies, which equals to about $10 when it's all said and done. So as much as I like to write, that's kind of just like a passion. And And that's the other thing when everyone's like, oh, you know, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And for me, I don't have something that I would like to do every day in my life for money. Because there's also that other saying where it's like, if you try to monetize your hobbies, you're gonna hate them. You're gonna learn to hate them, and you're gonna burn out on it. And that's another thing that scares me, is because, like, I do like writing, but if I try to make it my career, like, I'm worried I'm gonna hate it and then not want to do it anymore. And so the end of this long-winded rant basically is, I don't like working full-time. I have driven myself insane working full-time, and I've only been working full-time a month. I'm quitting my job, and I'm going back to my part-time job where I was actually happy, because I don't have therapists, I'm not on meds or anything, and so anything I can do to organically make my mental health better, I'm gonna do it. And if that's working at my old job again, so be it, because at the end of the day, you know, and this was a big debate I had with my boyfriend. He takes jobs for money, and I take jobs for mental, like, reasons, like if I'm happy at them and job satisfaction. And that's just one of the biggest, like, debated topics in our relationship, is he's like, well, just because you're happy at a job doesn't mean it pays the bills. And I'm like, that is fair, but I would rather be happy at a job that doesn't pay well than want to literally kill myself every day of my life. So, you know, there's that. I didn't really have much else to say on this rant. I just kind of really felt like talking about it to kind of put my thoughts into words, because I don't really do that often. My cat is right here. Hello, Thorfinn. And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I'm much happier when I have more time for things that I love, rather than fucking beach. I'm more happier when I have time for things that I love rather than no time at all. And so, like, at the end of the day, if I have to take 2 jobs, I will, but I'm not gonna stay in one spot for 8 hours a day, because I value my sanity. As little of it as I have, I value my sanity. And so that's pretty much all I have to say on that subject.